we're here outside the Dignity Health Sports Park after a 1-1 draw with Arsenal, and then a bonus penalty shootout, which they won. Had we won the penalty shootout, we'd have been saying that's a win. But Lee, congratulations! It was an interesting game, and in some ways a game of two halves. What did you make of it?
Yeah, look, listen, I thought it was a good workout. I think it looked like that Bournemouth was slightly in front of us as preparation was concerned. And listen, you know, our goalkeeper had to make two very, very good saves to keep us in it, like, you know. So I felt in the second half, dare I say it, I thought Bournemouth were the better side. Even when we started bringing on a few of our bigger guns, if you know what I mean. We're like the youngsters, I thought our youngsters done really well in the first half. But listen, it's a good workout, and you know, like it must have been difficult for you guys with all these Arsenal fans here. Like,
well, exactly. We were outnumbered. We were doing our best in section 125 to make some noise. Not sure if you heard us. You probably didn't. Tom, you wanted to mention their keeper, who was so good. Yeah. Maybe there's a deal on the cards for one of their understudies, right?
Well, all I'm saying is you've got Raya's a great keeper, and you've got Hine there, who I thought really made a case tonight. So what is the point of not letting Ramsdale come home? I don't. But no, I think in all seriousness, like Lee said, we looked at the team, and obviously we know our side was pretty strong to start. And I looked at the Arsenal side and thought, "Ooh, we got a chance here." And I didn't appreciate just how good some of the youngsters were. I thought Wamry, is that you?
Wanyeri, very good.
The way he almost controlled it at times, and I thought for a young age like that, I thought some of the youngsters at the back that I didn't know much about were really, really impressive. And then it's weird how it works like that. And then we kind of take off a few of our bigger players. They bring on Erdogan and that, and then we seem to have a bit of it is strange. And sometimes that energy of players that just go, this is our chance to prove a point, makes a difference, because Arsenal side got stronger, Arsenal potentially got weaker, but we got better, and they got it was weird. But I thought some of the youngsters for Arsenal, I think that's when you appreciate, especially from a Bournemouth perspective, how the academies at a club like Arsenal, because some of the young players out there that I've never heard of, I thought, oh bloody hell, they're all right actually.
Would you take Ramsey back then? Ramsdale back?
Absolutely, yeah. We've been having issues in the goalkeeper department. I would say most Bournemouth fans would say that. So we absolutely loved him when he was here.
Yeah, I love him. I think he's been like fantastic for us. Got a bit of a raw deal, if I'll be really honest. But you know, that's how it is, and you know, he's too good to be like a number two. That's how I feel, like, you know. So it'd be very interesting. You wouldn't want him going to Southampton, surely?
No, absolutely
I
not.
look at some of the teams, like you're saying, like, because he's maybe you could say I could get the case that he's maybe too good for Bournemouth, but then I look at the teams that you'd say are clearly higher than Bournemouth, and they've all got secured number ones. Yeah. So I feel like it, even if it was a loan with an option to buy something like that, I feel like we could get it done. I know he loves it here. I love him. I tell you what, as I said to Robbie then, Reece Nelson, he's either going to be sat on the bench, he's got to get a load. He's a player.
Yeah, do you know
he's
what?
Not going to get inside.
He's very impressive today, but exactly that. He's not. You know, I think he plays on the left side. You've got Martinelli, who obviously is not here. Trossard as well, like, you know, and even probably, you know, Jesus can play out there, like, you know. So he's one of those players that I think is a very, very good player, but he's not quite good enough to push you towards titles and things like that. So it's a difficult one, but I
want them sort of players to come through there.
Oh, you do. You've got a bit of affection for them. I'm absolutely, like, you know, the news come through today about Smith Rowe. I think it took the shine off coming here today for me a little bit, because he's such a good player. Unfortunately, he hasn't had enough game time for his talent, you know, and you know, I really want him to do well. You know what it's like when you've got one coming through like of your own, and it's just unfortunate. We just got to let him go, and because football is not just football, it's a business as well.
Yeah, of course.
We asked Dan Potts, he came on recently on one of our vlogs from 12th Man, of course, your channel as well. We asked him, where does he think Bournemouth will finish? Where does he think Arsenal will finish? Have a guess where he thought Arsenal would finish this season.
Probably second.
You're right.
Yeah, no.
You spent too much time with him,
mate.
Even I know that just from watching a couple of videos.
Such a defeatist, you know.
But what are your thoughts this season? What are your hopes and expectations? Because it's a tough one, isn't it?
It's a real tough one. I honestly think at the end of the day, Manchester City were unbelievable last season. They've been for the last few, but De Bruyne is getting a little bit older. Like, you know,
Edison's going maybe.
Could be a little bit of wiry in there. Like, don't get me wrong, they've still got some fantastic players, and they can still buy a few players. But I just think at the end of the day, De Bruyne, I think there's a difference between them being the best team, not just in the Premier League, in Europe, to being back in there. And I do think that we've got a chance because of that, like, you know. In saying that, they've got people like Grealish who didn't really play that much last season. Haaland wasn't really at his best, but I'm going to back us this season. I think the next 2-3 weeks at Arsenal are very, very important. Not so much on the field, but what goes on off of it. And if we can do that, I think that we'll win it.
And what do you make of? Look, you've travelled all around the world watching your team. What do you make of the atmosphere tonight? I mean, what was a shame was that there was barely anyone here, given the late announcement of the fixture. But the American crowds in general. I mean, they got the music pumping at half time, dancing away. It's a very different environment, isn't it?
It's an unbelievable environment, and it's a shame that it was like that for today, particularly for you guys, because when there was a rumour, I don't know if you had it as well, that it was going to be played, but up behind closed doors. That was the rumour, and then obviously they didn't. But then when you look at it, I know they're paying for Saturdays like $200 for a ticket. That's a lot of money for a friendly. Yeah. When you think about Premier League games and all that So if you're going to be honest and you think, right, I'm going to be spending $200 family maybe. You've got a choice. You've got Man United or today. You know what I mean? Like, no disrespect. You're going to go like Sophia Stadium. If you've ever been there, it's just incredible.
We just played Wrexham in a college campus.
Well, but that's it's just an unbelievable. So you're going to go. I'll tell you what. I'm going to save me money and not go for this one and go there. They're not. These American fans. They're very, very knowledgeable. Yeah. They're very, very passionate. And one thing they know is they're not stupid. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So they knew that the big guns weren't going to be here, and they'd pick and choose. We come here last season, and it was unbelievable, and the atmosphere is unbelievable when you come here. It's a different. You'd have experienced it now. It's a different world to back at home. Yeah. It is a completely different world, but it's an enjoyable world, So Bournemouth Beach, it's one of the best beaches in England, you know what I mean? And you've got these beaches out here. Where would you rather be? You're guaranteed to the weather here, aren't you?
Yeah, right. We'll finish with a game of higher or lower then. Tom, where are Bournemouth finishing this season then? Whereabouts is it going to be?
Got to be optimistic. I'm a Bournemouth fan, so I'll say we're going to sneak in the top half. I'll go 10th.
All right then, Lee, higher or lower? Where are we finishing?
I think around about there, I would say that.
Yeah.
10th, 11th. Yeah. That's a good season for Bournemouth. Yeah. I always say that with Bournemouth, if you look at the context of what you do, like it's £1 to get into the car park. Yeah. It's £40 here, you know what I mean? Emirates is £20. It's just everything. You're way punching above the weight from whatever you got there. When we played you beginning of the season, you'd have probably thought you hadn't won a game. Yeah. Credit to you because you backed that manager. 100%. And was nowhere near, come the end of the season, nowhere near in any danger of getting relegated. So I think now you've got to try and push on a little bit and try and get into that top half.
One of the last times I saw you, Lee, I think it was at the Hilton Hotel in Bournemouth, and you came down in a spa robe with your spa slippers on. Obviously chilled out about the game ahead.
Yeah,
of course you won it. But look, congratulations for winning that game, and good luck for this season.
Yeah, and to you, and to you.
We've got a really good connection with Arsenal fans because of like some of our videos have done really well. Namely that 3-2 Reece Nelson goal, best ever video for us, which is huge numbers.
That game, by the way, it was an incredible game, wasn't it? And didn't deserve that at the end of the day, But when it happened, it was
party time.
Yeah, so
it was weirdly nice to experience that, though, wasn't it?
Yeah,
but as Lee was saying about Arsenal's chances, I think another point is that I don't think Liverpool will be as close. So don't get me wrong, I think they'll be good, but I think they have a little bit of a transition, new manager. So I think that'll weigh a little bit more. I think it'll be head to head, Arsenal City, a little bit more than it has been, which will help.
What Arsenal need as well, and I know you might think I'm silly when I'm saying this, but we need more teams to be competitive. Yeah. So that
take points off each other.
To take points off each other, like when Liverpool playing Man City, like Man United, got to be a little bit more, because they can take them off of us at any given stage, but they can't be doing it against Man City. So I think it's important that all those teams get a little bit better. And Chelsea, and Chelsea, by the way, did take points off of Man City. So if that can happen, that can make it a little bit more competitive and a little bit more of a chance. But
we're not very helpful because is this our 9th Premier League season? Yeah. Guess how many points we take off Man City?
None.
0.
Yeah, but there's going to be a lot of teams like that.
That could change.
That could change.
We had a go at them, lost 6-1. So then we defended and played counter, lost 1-0. Like you just can't.
Yeah.
It's very, very difficult. But I agree with Lee that I think with De Bruyne and Ederson, it feels like there's something. They can't keep doing it every year.
Well, and I also think you have to say it's not good for football.
No,
I'll be honest. Whether it be, I always wanted Liverpool to win the league over Man City because
just someone else,
and all that. And also, if Liverpool would have won it, and when they did, you think to yourself, well, if Liverpool can do it, then the likes of Arsenal can do it. You know what I mean? So now, if Arsenal can do it, other teams can go, do you know what? That's the way. That's the route to go down. There is a way you can do it, and that's what's very, very important for football, in my opinion.
So look, Dan Potts, even though you say second, Judges thinks you're going to win the league this year. Lee, thanks for coming on, mate.
No worries. Safe journey home. Take care.
Cheers, Lee.
Take care.